Hey guys, so we're gonna make a craft today. I made this video once and decided I didn't like it, so I'm making it again. What we're making is a little washcloth bunny teether for a baby. I used embroidery thread, and this poor little eye here needs some work. But I used an embroidery thread and embroidered the eyes, the nose, and the little tail. And none of these are choking hazards other than this little piece right here that I need to cut off. So, well, and then there's the little ribbon, which you don't have to use, I don't suppose. I suppose you could glue it all together, but I'm not a big fan of that either. So, we're going to do it this way. I'm going to trim this off. I need to grab a pair of scissors and I'll be right back. Okay, so the only thing you're going to need for this is obviously a washcloth, preferably a clean one. You will need some embroidery thread, the colors that you choose. Then all you need is your washcloth, some ribbon, and some embroidery thread, and needles. I already had this thread. This I got in the craft section. Obviously you can see it's for bracelet making. And I think this package of 17 colors or 36 kinds was less than $5 at Walmart. I opted to do it this way because it's less of a choking hazard. And the way these are used, I'll go ahead and put that out there before I get started into making it, is the baby kind of hangs onto this part or this part. And if you wet, like if you have them hang onto it by their head or their ears, then you can wet like this much of it. Put it in the freezer. It freezes solid, and when they're chewing on it, it numbs their gums. So the first thing that you have to do is pick out what color of washcloth you have or want. I have a white one, a very light blue one, another light blue one, an off-white one, and then kind of this mustard color. Those are the colors that I'm working with on this round. You will also need a pair of scissors to cut off any tags and also to cut your embroidery thread and your ribbon. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that your washcloth is free of all strings and tags. So, got one here I need to clip off. Okay, and you want to cut it as close as you can. And I went ahead and pre-threaded my needles, and I put out some white because I'm not real sure if I want to use it or not, but I went ahead and put it out just in case. And also you'll need a few rubber bands. These are really optional, but what I do is when I make the face and fold back the ears, I go ahead and wrap a rubber band around it. It holds it in place while I tie my little ribbon in place, and then I go back and just snip off the rubber band, and that way that's off of there. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is start at one of the corners, and you're going to roll it as tight as you can to the middle. There. Then you're going to turn it around, and I lay my scissors on it to kind of hold it in place. And you're going to roll the opposite corner. Like I rolled this corner, so I'm going to roll this one. Same way, to the middle. Just like that. Once you get to this point, this smooth side needs to be out. So you're going to fold it in half with your rolled part and the break toward the middle. You're going to fold it in half like that. Easy enough so far, right? You want to make sure they're even. And then you're going to fold your ears back. Trying to put them in the direction that you want them. And then you're going to hold this part together. That's the most difficult part for me because my hands don't work so well. And kind of adjust it how you want it. fold it back, and then this is where your rubber band comes in, because you're making your face here. Wrap it tight, get all the bands together, I suppose. Well, come on, rubber band, work with me. Okay, and now you adjust your ears and pooch out your face. And sometimes it takes a little bit of doing, but it's not difficult. If I can do it, anybody can. You want to keep your rubber band back though. You don't want your rubber band to take away from your face. Because if you stitch it like I did, or I'm doing, then you're going to stitch these two pieces together when you make your nose. Okay. So the first thing I think I want to work on with this one is its little tail. So I'm going to take my pink thread. It's just an embroidery thread. And I'm not going to tie a knot in it. And I'll show you why. I'm going to find the middle. Okay. I'm going to pull it through, and I'm going to leave this little string like this, because I'm going to tie it in a knot there so that it doesn't move. And I'm still going to leave it there because I'm going to tie it again when I'm done. So I'll keep it up there out of my way. And then I'm just doing a really easy stitch, really. Go through. You can make it however big or however small you want. Okay, so I got the tail done, and I used the largest majority of that big piece of thread simply because, see, I wanted it a little bit raised. Whoops. I wanted it a little bit raised. So I just went over and over and over it until I got the size that I wanted. Let me go ahead and take my needle off here. And then this string that I left earlier, I'm going to use this one and make my knot again. And then I want to trim both of them off as closely as I can without making it come untied. You could even put like a little dab of fabric glue on it, but I would be really careful about that. Just make sure it's non-toxic. So I can do its nose, because I'm going to do the little nose in pink. And I'm using probably 30 inches, I guess, is what I'm putting on here, about that, if I were guessing. Just so that I make sure I have enough, because again, I want to have the nose a little bit raised, just like I have with the tail. So you're going to want to find about the middle. And again, I'm sewing the two sides together by making its nose. I'm going to start at the bottom of where I want its nose to be, because that's going to be the smallest area. So I'll say about right there. Oops, that's not in there very good. And if you're really good at like embroidery or sewing, this will be easy for you. I, however, am not so good at it. I just barely get by. Okay, so again, I'm going to keep my little end here, and I'm going to tie a knot. So I'm going to start out making it small, and then as I go to the top of it, it will become wider. Okay, so I went ahead and took a marker, a washable marker, and made like a dot there and a dot over here, so I'd know where I want to put my eyes. And now with my nose, I'm going to just keep working my way until I get the desired size and shape. Okay, so I'm going to keep working on his nose, and I'll be back after it's done. Okay, so I'm almost finished with his little nose. I only have one stitch left to do. I just went ahead and did kind of like a oblong button size instead of making it triangle or anything like that. So again, I'm going to take my little string that I'd left, and I'm going to tie it in a knot 3 times. I'm going to start with the place where my dots are at, and just like I've done with all the others, I'm going to leave a little tail there. So let's do this guy first. Go. Okay, so from there I'm going to make my little teardrop shape and come back around to there, and then I'll tie off again with this same ribbon. I mean the same tail, thread, whatever. I'm going to tie off my end so I can clip it off and start on the blue. Once I get the blue done, all I have to do after that is the ribbon. Let me know in the comments below if you like these kind of videos. If you do, I'll do more of them. But I'd really like your feedback. I hope you guys have a great day and a glorious tomorrow.